Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It podcast. We have a great show for you today. We have Ashley Lamb, who's the owner and trainer at Pvolve Columbia. She talks about how she is the first Pvolve franchise in South Carolina. She was the 9th one in the country. She talks about all the things that make it unique, all the equipment that they use, and then class times and what classes involve, their trainers, their personal training, all kinds of things. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks for listening. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It podcast. I'm Dr. Randy here with Dr. Tom. As always, thanks for listening. If you haven't given us a review yet, wherever you listen, if you would do that, we'd appreciate that. We see those, we look at those, and we have a great guest today. We have Ashley Lamb, who's the owner and trainer at Pvolve Columbia, which is a new fitness center or gym. What do you like?
Studio, maybe?
Studio?
We are a fitness boutique studio.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, located within the Bull Street district.
Very nice. And so you were telling me earlier you've been doing this for 6 years, but it's only been in Columbia now for 1 year.
Not even a year. We opened in May.
Wow.
Yeah, but I've been doing it almost 6 years now.
And we're super excited about the new boutique fitness places coming to Columbia because for a long time it was not a lot of options. There was a lot of chains. And now there's some new types of workouts, some new options. So that's great. So you've been in this for 6 years with Pvolve. So tell us how you got into it initially. And make sure you put stay right in front of the microphone for me.
Okay, so after the birth of my second son, he just turned 6 years old on Saturday. So happy birthday,
Wow.
Banks. I was looking for something different to do. I've always been active. I cheered, I danced. I've always been doing personal training with other people. Like I had personal trainers, just always been doing something. But I was scrolling Instagram one day and I found Pvolve. And I was like, what is this? It looked different. The movements looked different. So I bought some of the equipment and I was working at a law firm at the time in administration, and my office was big enough for me to do the workouts at lunch in my office because I had a 4-year-old at home and a baby at home.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got the okay to start working out after Banks was born, I literally would shut the door at lunchtime and start working out in my office. Because it was the only time I had to work out. And y'all, the results that I saw as quickly as I saw them, I was just blown away. And it's all low impact functional movement.
Yeah.
So it's nothing that I had ever done before. And I was immediately drawn to the fact that I could work out, but still go on my day and be able to move and not be sore, not hurt. And I literally started craving the movements. And finally, when I was able to have a little life of my own, I started to do the workouts at my house. I would wake up early in the morning if Banks was sleeping throughout the night and do the workouts or do them at home after work because it started out as an omni-channel platform. There was the flagship studio in New York City, which is still there, and then they opened up a studio in Los Angeles and Chicago. So they also had the streaming option. So I started it in 2019. Pvolve started in 2017. And I've been doing it ever since. So I streamed it online for 5 years. There's over 1,500 videos online that you can watch and do from 10 minutes to 30 minutes to 40 minutes. And I loved it. I have told so many people about it over the years, and they're like, what are you saying? And I'm like, it's Pvolve. It stands for Personal Evolution. And when they offered the franchise opportunity, I was like, there's no way I could do that. But I submitted my information, and they immediately got back in touch with me. Alex did. And I was like, I want to do this. So I looked at my husband, Kevin, and I was like, Kevin, I want to do this. And he was like, okay, let's do it. So we went up to Chicago. We met with the team. We met with the president. We met with the owner via Zoom, everybody in corporate. And y'all, it was just like, it was meant to be. And here we are a couple years
That's
later.
awesome.
And we opened in May. And
Were you
it's
from
amazing.
here? Were you from Columbia or
I'm from Lexington.
Lexington? Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So you were just ripping these at home. And so that was one of my questions. It started as an online platform only, like at home kind of style.
Well, they had the studios in the big cities, but
Gotcha.
Lexington,
Okay.
South Carolina is not New York City.
Okay.
Obviously. Yeah. But they had the videos online. They would record the videos that they would do in the studio or just make videos for online content. They were one of the first, if not the first, boutique studio to do that. So they could have members all over the world do the workout.
Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Columbia Family Chiropractic, with 3 easy-to-get-to locations, one in Forest Acres, which is by Trader Joe's, one in O'Neill Court by the DMV, and one in the Northeast by Sand Hills. You'll be sure to have somewhere near you. They offer a ton of services from corrective care, on-site digital x-rays, spinal decompression for bulging or herniated discs, dry needling for injuries, pediatric care, and a Class 4 laser. They accept all your major insurances. And if you mention this ad, you'll get a discount on your first appointment. Check out their website at cfc4health.com or Google Columbia Family Chiropractic. That's cfc4health.com.
So yeah, that's how I did it. And you could choose between the type of equipment that you wanted to use because we have 13 different pieces of equipment.
Okay. Nice. I was wondering about the equipment too. So tell us about, it seems unique just looking at photos, and there's kind of some interesting names. Like I saw P-strap is one of the things.
Oh yeah, I even brought them to show you.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Sweet.
So we have 13 pieces of equipment, and within the classes, we use 3 pieces of equipment in each class. Our equipment changes daily, as does the choreography. So you never take the same class twice, which is such a big benefit of Pvolve. We choreograph our classes all differently. There are 5 trainers that I have at my studio. I'm one of them, but then I have 4 other trainers. But we have 3 patented pieces of equipment. I brought the 3 patented pieces of equipment. If I lean down, I'm scared I might move the mic.
Yeah, hand her those.
But I would, if you would just hand me the bag, because I have one of my favorite pieces in here.
And this is stuff that you were purchasing back
I
in the
bought
day.
it all online, and I had everything at home. So our first piece, this is what really started Pvolve, is the P ball. So basically, it can be used so many different ways. But you put your legs in these straps right here. So it's a thick, resistant strap. And you pull the ball all the way up to your pelvic floor. And it really helps activate your inner thighs. So you can step out with it on, and it's working those outer glutes, outer thighs. And then when you come in, you're squeezing on it with your inner thighs, so you activate those inner thighs.
Oh, yes.
But then we can also pull it down to a little bit above our knees or at our ankle. And this band, y'all, I mean, it's pretty thick. It's good resistance. But then you can also use it in your hands.
Yeah.
You can also push on it with your hands like this. So this is what really started Pvolve, is the P-ball.
And for people listening, it's it's basically a small soccer ball size with straps around it.
And
Yeah.
exotic underwear.
It has a cage right here that's holding
That's
it
the
in.
explanation. I was trying to figure out how to say it.
I've never heard of it that way, but it's kind of true. Yeah, it's really cool. So that is our P-ball, my absolute favorite.
Now, does everybody have, like, is that something you'd have, when they become a member, they would purchase one of those? Or they can borrow those if they want to?
So we have all the equipment at the studio.
Okay.
So when you become a member of the studio, you don't ever have to bring equipment. We have equipment for you. We get the equipment ready in baskets, and you grab a basket when you come into the studio and you go onto your own. We have our precision mats. And they look like squares. They look like the face of a clock, and they have numbers in different squares. And us trainers, we use it as a cue to where your feet go during class, because we move 360 degrees. We move internally and externally.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice.
it's really
Great.
cool. My favorite piece is our P band. It sculpts your arms and shoulders and your back like no other. And basically what you do,
Those are like workout gloves attached to a bungee.
yeah. So it's like you put your palm, it's kind of like a workout glove attached to a bungee cord, and then you wrap this around your wrist, and you do the same with the other one. And it's got a resistance band in between it. So you use it and you put your thumbs underneath this and you can pull your arms apart
Yeah.
and pull it back together. It's such a good piece of equipment. And if you use it over time, you notice that your posture becomes better because we always have to hold our shoulders down, hold your
Right.
shoulders back. And we can use it so many different ways. You can use it for your biceps. You can use it for your triceps. And then our third piece of patented equipment is something called a P3 trainer, and it's really cool. So it's got some ankle straps that you strap to each of your ankles. And then we've got a resistance band. Sorry, I have a lot of stuff in my black bag, and it's kind of hard to see what's in my black bag. I think I might have forgotten a band, but that's okay. Oh, no, here it is. So you strap this to your ankle,
Yeah.
and then you would strap the carabiner on that end to say our weighted ball. And I actually used this when I taught this morning. I taught 2 classes this morning, and I did not look like this when I finished because you get all hot and sweaty. I had to go home and take a shower. But basically, you use this resistance, and you want to keep tension in the band the whole time, and you take the ball up. You can take it above your head. You can do so many different things with it. And basically, every move that we do, you use your core. So your core, I mean, is so important in our daily walking, everything that we do. So we want to strengthen our core in every movement that we do, as well as our glutes and our arms, just everything. It's just an incredible
Would you say that's the
workout.
main muscle group that you're going to get targeted each time? Like I think of like Pilates, they're big core people. Is that what you would say Pvolve's sort of like?
Well, core is in everything that we do.
Yeah.
But we focus on the glutes as well. We like to
Nice.
we pump up our peach. We definitely do.
Randy does that. He's a big peach pumper.
Oh, yeah. You get that pea ball on, you're going to pump up that peach.
I'm worried about my thighs being too big to get into
yeah,
that
how do you get
ball
in there?
strap.
You can do it. It stretches out more than you think. We also have an extender. And we have male members that come and they use it. I mean, it might be a little bit more uncomfortable for them, but they definitely use it and they see the benefit of
Right.
activating those inner thighs that you don't typically get
It's
to
like
in
the
a
hardest
workout.
muscle. I don't think guys work that out at all, ever.
No.
Like
no.
even the machines, you're like not allowed to get on those machines as a guy. It just
Right.
feels a little weird.
Yeah.
But that makes sense
Yeah.
that would work. That would do that.
Hard to reach places or the areas that are hard to work out.
Yeah, and Pvolve is all about, we're functional movement. We're how you
Yeah.
move on a daily basis. It's like stepping over, it wouldn't be snow here, but a water puddle, getting out of your car, reaching up into the cabinet. So we work functional movements paired with our resistance-based equipment. We have 13 pieces total. We strength, we sculpt, we tone, all in, and the most important part is a low impact way. I think that's so important. We are for women and for men. Like I said, we have men members that come. I think it's incredible that they understand how important this type of workout is in
Right.
addition to their weightlifting, because we're targeting those micro muscles. We're working on their balance. We really work on balance and stability. And mobility, as y'all know, as your profession, is so important. And the mobility that we do when we go internally and externally lubricates those joints, our hips, our shoulders. It's just, y'all are going to get in the studio and you're going
We
to be
gotta
like,
try it.
holy geez, this is a lot harder than I thought it was.
Right. I can't wait to see that ball on Randy's pelvic floor, just squeezed up in there. Are there different sizes?
No,
Or
there's
that's
not.
the
One
size?
size.
That's the size. But like I
Wow.
said, we have an extender. I think you could do it without the extender.
Do you feel like so when you're wearing that? Wouldn't that kind of bow the legs out a little bit?
I
I don't
mean,
know how I would walk in that.
Well, you wouldn't walk.
Okay.
But the instructor, you would stay at your mat.
Yeah.
But as instructors, what we do, we show the move several times and then we walk around class. We want to make sure everybody is having great form.
Yeah.
Doing everything correctly. So I always say I feel like I'm waddling like a penguin or like a duck as I go around class. But that's just me. But I mean, It stretches out, and I will say my husband has some pretty thick thighs, and he can get it in here. Yeah, it's not his favorite
Right.
piece.
Do you wear shoes? Like, are people wearing
Yes,
shoes?
shoes are required for class, for safety
Okay.
and for sanitation purposes. I don't know if you've ever heard of Vivo Barefoot. That is my absolute favorite type of shoe. It is a flat
yeah,
shoe.
yeah.
It doesn't have an arch, but what it does, and total shout out to Vivo Barefoot. I've probably sold like 30 of them.
Yeah.
Love their shoes. But it allows you to really open up your toes, because one thing that we really do in Pvolve, and y'all should appreciate this too, is we strengthen the muscles in your ankles and in your feet,
Yeah, that's
which you
great.
don't get a lot in other modalities. But by working on stability and balance, we want to make sure we open up our toes, and we're pushing down on our toes and the ball of our foot and on the inside of our foot if we're balancing on our right leg. And we also lift our heel up a lot, which really helps activate that glute muscle. But those Vivo Barefoot shoes, could not say enough about them, just because they're so pliable. They bend, they allow you to lift your heel up as high as you can, because the higher you lift it, the more you're going to work that booty. I'm all about that.
Love that.
So it's a full body workout every time.
Absolutely.
And
full body.
Do you do anything else? Because I've always found that I like to do cardio, but I like to lift weights, but then I like to do core Pilates
Yeah.
or this type of thing. And I never really know what the ratios should be.
I have a fantastic answer for that. Okay.
I was hoping you would.
Yes, of course. So right now, and this is what Pvolve does, and I think it's brilliant. We start with our strength and sculpt class, which you are strengthening and you're sculpting using these 13 pieces of equipment. Once our members and guests get used to that format, we add in what we call a sculpt and burn. So it is our strength and sculpt, and we add cardio into that. So we will add 30 seconds to 45 seconds to a minute of cardio burst in there,
Yeah.
low impact cardio within the strength and sculpt format. And then next comes, and we are going to bring this in the first quarter of 2025, and I cannot tell you how excited I am about it and how excited our members are. We're bringing progressive weight training, which we will be using between 5 and 15 pound dumbbells.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as y'all know, you lose bone density
Right.
so much as you get older, and you have to lift heavy. You have to, for your metabolism, for your bone health, for everything. And that is going to be a new format that we are going to bring in at the beginning of this year. And we're super excited about that, because as women and as men, we need to lift heavy.
Yeah.
So we've got that sculpting, we've got that cardio. So right now we have 2 class formats, and then we're going to bring in the progressive weight training. We're going to bring in a mat definition class that's on the mat, that's really focused on your core, and some other fun things that are coming. So yeah, we do it
That was
over
a good answer.
time. Yeah, yeah.
What about for like someone like me? I'd probably need 30 pounds. Just bring my own.
You actually don't. Let me tell you this. So my husband,
Everybody
Kevin, and
says
I,
that to me.
No.
Listen, I almost got in
Here
a
he
fight in a
goes.
step-up class because I was like, I need this. They're like, you can't handle it.
You-
And then at the end of it, they were like, you did need that. You were right. So I'm just saying,
gonna
maybe a
challenge
30 to 40
you.
pounder for me out there because it gets too easy.
But it's not, because the way we do it slow.
Yep. He
and
doesn't do it slow enough.
controlled. You,
Out of control, this guy.
You have to do it slow.
I don't think you guys
and
understand how
controlled.
strong I am. It's an issue every time I go to a new class.
I can't wait. I can't
He sends
wait
an
to
email
kick
ahead
your
of time
butt.
to any class he goes to. You don't realize how strong I am. What kind of weights
You better
are
bump up the
kicking?
weights.
No, but my husband and I, we went to New York. We needed to get away right before Christmas time. So we took a class at the New York studio, the flagship studio. And we took a progressive weight training, because I knew we were bringing that to our
Yeah.
studio soon. And Kevin tried to use 15 pounds the whole time. And Kevin, I love you dearly. I'm not trying to put you down. But y'all, he was struggling. Like, we will do slow
Yes.
and controlled, slow and controlled, and take your arm out and in. You get so much more of a benefit if you're slow and controlled
Yes.
with your movements than if you just fly through it.
Tell Randy that.
That's good. You have to tell some people slower.
Slow
Yes.
it down.
Slow it down.
We do. You're not in a race. Focus on your form, focus on what you're doing. The benefit that you're going to see is so much more if you listen to our cues in and out or up and down. Yeah, it's not about how fast you move, unless we're doing the cardio, and then I'm going to kick your butt by making you go fast.
Yep.
When we had another fitness instructor on here, Tom asked if there was any taglines or certain things that you say over
Key
and
phrases.
over. And I love that question.
Oh, I always love to say, squeeze your core, engage that core, because if you do that, that is going to engage all of those muscles. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your core. Those are my favorite things, and I think that you would hear my members say that over and over.
Do you use like pump your peach a lot or no?
I do say pump your peach, especially when we use our gliders that you put underneath your foot. We use those this morning. We are pumping that peach up.
Pump your peaches.
Yeah, I would remember. That would be a good memorable one.
Yeah, that would be a good thing on the wall. Pump
Yeah,
your peach.
pump your peach.
Yes.
And I will say this, before I started doing Pvolve, I had what you call like a pancake butt. I did.
Really?
Even though I worked out, but that Pvolve, it has pumped it up.
Have you done
I'm
like a
real
before and
proud.
after, put it up on the wall for everybody or no?
No, I totally should though. That's a great idea.
That's great.
There's that. Have you seen that one challenge where you lay on the floor and you have a weight? I guess it's like a push-up bar with 45 pounds on
Like
it.
the
and you
barbell.
Roll, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you roll it over you to see if your butt hits it.
Oh.
And if it doesn't, you keep working on your butt until it hits, until it stops it.
I haven't seen that. I need to do that.
I'll send it to you.
Please do.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Now, how long is a workout?
So our workouts are 50 minutes. I will
Okay.
say we have express classes at lunchtime. That's twice a week, but they're 50 minutes. We will start with the warm up. This is about 7 minutes.
Okay.
And then we will do 3 blocks standing.
Okay.
And then we come down to the mat and do a block on the mat, really focused on the core. And after every class, we do a cool down. The cool down is one of the most important, if not the most important part of your workout. You have to respect your body. You have to respect all of those muscles that you just used. So that will be about 2 or 3 minutes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And the numbers on the floor. Walk us through. I saw there's numbers on the floor.
Yes.
What do those mean? Is that part of like you
That-
tell them like Twister almost, like right hand number 1?
Exactly.
like
So
that?
that's our precision
Yeah.
mat. And it's something that Pvolve brought on board maybe 5 years ago, and it's been a game changer because it really helps you understand where your feet need to go during the movements.
Yeah.
Especially like with our internal movements that we do and moving your feet externally. So like I said, it's like the face of a clock, and we'll tell you what block your feet need to go in. And it also has little dots on it. So we're challenging you. Maybe today you can just take your foot to this dot, but maybe tomorrow you can take it a little bit farther. Challenge yourself. Reach that threshold. Take your foot off of the mat. I'm one. I've been doing it for so long. My foot goes off the mat a lot of times when we use our resistance band. I'm really proud to say that because I have built up those muscles, and I don't know. I'm just a true testament of Pvolve and what it does to your body. I was the first owner that opened that actually trained. No one before that had ever done that, and it took a lot of convincing to get me to do that, but I was adamant. I was like, I've been doing this long enough.
Right.
I never trained in another method or modality. And but I managed the studio, so it was a lot to take on at one time. But if I'm bringing this to Columbia, I want to be able to tell people how to do it, but I'm the one in the studio that's been doing it the longest.
That's
you know
great.
what I'm saying?
I love the 50-minute idea because then you can just start every class on the hour.
Exactly.
And is that what it is? 10 minutes kind of to transition out and then the new people can come in?
Yes and no. You have to find the times of classes that work for your members. So we'll have a 7 and an 8:30 some days. Sometimes we'll have a 7 and a 9:30. It really just depends on what time works for your members. And that is one of the most challenging things that we have found is the timing that people can come to class. You know, some people work out at 5:30, some don't. Our members love that 9:30 class.
Yep, that's
they love
the sweet
it.
spot.
It will fill up. And then the 6 p.m. class. People love the 6 p.m., but some people like the 4:30. But like on the weekends, and we're open 7 days a week. So we have Saturday and Sunday classes.
Nice.
And those are filling up. It's just like we're going to have to add class times because, you know, we started out when we decided to open. We found our location in the Bull Street district and we started construction, but we wanted to open with members. So we started doing pop-ups. We were able to use a spot in the Babcock apartment buildings. We were able to use their yoga room. So we started with free classes for the community because we wanted to open with a great member base.
Yeah.
So that's how we introduced our method to the community. So when we opened, we already had members, but we've brought so many more members on because they tell their friends about us. They bring in friends, they bring in guests, but also we do a lot of advertising through the Meta platforms as well and through Google. Yeah.
And do you run the advertising yourself, or is that a corporate?
Oh gosh, no. We have a company that does that for us.
Through corporate? Because you said on here it was your 9th franchise. You were the 9th franchise, right?
Yeah, correct.
And what does it look like when you do the franchise? What kinds of things are you responsible for, and what do they cover for you?
Oh, that's a great question. So, I mean, I'm responsible for the complete build out of the studio. You know, they design the studio, what we're going to look at, what we're going to look like. And then they help with bidding out to different contractors, but I didn't have to do that because I'm great friends with the president of Cone Construction, Brian Pattison. You should have him on one day. He's fantastic.
Nice.
And he built our studio in like less than 3 months. I mean, they're so good. He's so meticulous. Everything is just perfect within our studio. He was way ahead of schedule.
And then they would have said you need to be between 1,000 and 2,000 square feet, or whatever your number is.
Exactly. They gave us like a rough estimate. And then, you know, when we were looking, there was not a lot of commercial space available. But we found the Bull Street district, and I see Robert Hughes' vision for that, for the Bull Street district, and give it a couple years, it's going to be incredible. I mean, it already is. We're in the bottom of one of the Bennett apartment buildings, and Tupelo Honey just built right beside us.
Is that open?
They open next month.
Sweet.
Cannot wait. If you've ever been there, it's incredible. I've been to the one in Asheville before. So I'm excited for them to open because it will be more foot traffic.
Right.
But the apartments are really getting full. One of the buildings is already full. The one above us is not full yet. But, you know, we're getting more traffic. They're getting more restaurants that have signed that just haven't started building yet. But, yeah, it's a great location.
I think it's a great spot, too, because originally it was just REI, I think, that came in there, and it was in the middle of nothing. And I was even looking at the Google listing that they haven't updated that whole area yet on the Google Maps. And when you look at what it used to be and then what it is now, it's completely transforming.
Oh, every day. I'm always hearing beep, beep outside of our door because there's always something going on. Yeah. Google Maps still doesn't know where we're located. I still have to give everybody directions. And I'm like, if anybody out there knows how to contact Google and get them to get my directions, please tell me.
I woke up the other morning and my wife was speaking to somebody from Google on the phone at like 7 in the morning. I was like, how did you do that?
Did she get...
She said it started with a bot and somehow ended up with a person and like got something resolved. Our emails were going to spam. So like something weird happened where our emails just started going to spam. And so she got Google on the phone. I was like, that's free. I don't even know. Like, you should have got the guy's personal cell phone number at that point.
No kidding. Impressed. I would love to know how she did that.
I'll let her. I'll tell her. It was unreal. I was blown away.
Yeah, because Google Maps will not bring you to our studio. It takes you basically to the Babcock apartment buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. What's the age range in a class?
It varies. You can start as young as 14, but we have members in their 80s.
Really?
We do. We
And
do.
And is that like a good like? Do you have like a big age gap sometimes where you see that, or are people kind of niching out their circles?
I think you'll see everything. We really start. Most of our members, I've gotten one that's she's in high school, and then the remainder of them are college to retirees in their 80s. I have an ex-pro football player that is a member of my studio that sees the benefit, and he was like, Ashley, I wish I would have had this type of workout during my playing days, because he understands the benefit of how it would have helped him during those times when he played. Yeah.
And is there music playing the whole time?
Oh, yeah. We have different playlists for every class that we have.
Okay.
And I've got a really amazing sound system, too. And we also have LED lights at the top, and they change colors.
Nice.
So you change the colors like according to the music and what you're doing. Like if we're doing a big cardio push, we might put it on red to like really get you going and turn that music up even louder. And then we'll bring it down. And of course, as trainers, we're on mic, so you can hear us.
Nice.
So
your headset.
Yeah, we have a headset. Yeah. And then the lights are super cool.
Great. How many people can be in a class? Like, what's a full class?
So 20, including the trainer. So I have 19 mats for people. But we also offer personal training too. So I have a personal training room, and that has really started to kick off. Some people, they want to start their journey with Pvolve with personal training, and I commend them for that.
Yeah.
They really want to make sure they get the method under their belt before they come to the class. Although, I'll say that as trainers, we do walk around and make sure everybody has correct form during the class. But then some people, we have people that don't like group fitness classes, that they just want the one-on-one attention. So we can cater to everybody, to men and women of all different fitness levels. And I think that's important too. We've had people that just started their fitness journey with us, but we also have people that have been working out for 15 years plus.
Yeah.
But we can accommodate you where you are. We can provide modifications for everything that we do. We meet you where you are today, because where you are today might not be where you are tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah.
Because one day you might be killing it and you come in 2 days later and not so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
We all have those days.
How's your mirror situation at the studio? Like,
you see everything.
Really nice.
Everything is mirrored. The whole front wall is mirrored. And the trainer will be in the, we have 3 rows, and we stagger the mats so you can see yourself. So the trainer's always in the middle of the front row. But the mats are staggered so you can see yourself. I recommend looking at the mirror, but not all the time, because when you're trying. Oh, do you like to look
Is there
at
time?
yourself?
Yeah,
you like
I
to
love
see
it.
Is there time for him to stop, and he likes to do a lap in front of the mirror and do different flexes?
No, I like looking at myself. Tom would be yelling at you, take more pictures of me, take more pictures.
I like to keep the memories. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's important to see what you're doing, but at the same time, I think it's important to focus on something, especially if we're doing some balance work, to find something in front of you to really focus on so you can really get that mind to muscle connection of what you're doing at that moment in time.
Great. And then how often should somebody work out this style? Is it okay to do it daily? Is it something that you would do every other day?
I recommend at least 4 days a week. We definitely have people that come in once or twice, but I have members that come in 4 to 5 days a week. And it is something that you could do every day because it's low impact. And your body really does. I know it sounds cliche, and I've told people this when they signed up, your body's going to start to crave the movement. And they've come back and been like, Ashley, I thought you were crazy and kind of cuckoo.
Yeah.
But my body really does crave that movement. And we have, I actually have some right there in my drink. It's called Recover 9. And it helps a lot with recovery, but it is made up of 9 essential amino acids. And it's been through a clinical study. We've been through 3 clinical studies, 3 clinical trials. and it's equivalent to 20 ounces or 20 grams of whey protein without the whey.
Wow.
But it's those 9 essential amino acids, and it really helps you recover after your workout. I drink it during and after. It really helps with muscle recovery. It helps with soreness. I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah. I love that you show up in a tank top.
Yeah.
Show off the guns.
Yeah.
How long have you been ripped for? Like, I know you said you started 6 years ago. Prior to that, were you into fitness, doing anything, or?
I was, I did the step classes that I think a lot of people have done.
Yeah,
and
Randy loves those.
You like those step classes, yeah.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind them. Other one that give me a hard time about the weight. They literally are taking away my 30 pounds. And I'm like, no, I'm using this. They're like, it's too much for you.
So I did those. I had a personal trainer.
Yeah.
But I never saw the results that I've seen from Pvolve because it really works those micro muscles. I mean, I've got guns. Y'all, I'm 40.
yeah.
I'm 42. Look at that.
Dang.
Wow.
That's intimidating.
Like, my stomach is carved out, and y'all, my legs, like, I just thought I could have that line down the center of my legs.
Yeah.
But no, I got them like
You're getting
all
shredded.
right here. I'm totally shredded.
Do they call you Shreddy Krueger at all?
No, but I love it.
They should. What was the first muscle, like when you started doing Pvolve, what was the first muscle group where you're like, oh, I see it? Like,
Oh, good question.
My legs.
it was legs?
Because I've always like wanted the nice kind of toned legs.
Yeah.
And when I started seeing those other lines in my
Right.
leg, I was like, holy cow. I didn't know that was possible, And then I started, like, I've always had a good core. I will say that. Because, I mean, I would always do crunches or whatnot. But the movements that we do within Pvolve, I mean, I'm not just doing crunches to sculpt your core out. I'm doing things standing. I'm doing something with this P ball that's going to sculpt it out.
Right.
I'm doing something with that P3 trainer and that weighted ball that you're going to hold above your head, and you're going to twist your torso that's going to get those side obliques. I mean, y'all, I've got like a 6-8 pack. I mean, it's pretty darn incredible that I've had two kids.
great.
I've never been in this good of shape,
Yeah.
and it's Pvolve.
So you never had the one piece face. You went straight. You were been bikini your whole life.
Of course, yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I think every mom out there wants that.
I think that's
Yeah,
the goal. You can
I
have an
think you
8-pack in your
do.
40s. Great.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I got the peach,
Yep. Growing
Come
the peaches.
Pvolve.
Growing peaches. I saw that you guys take HSA and flex spending. That's really nice.
which is amazing. We just partnered with a company. It's called TrueMed. I mean, it should be a part of your HSA.
Right.
I mean, fitness is huge. So, yeah, corporate got that, which is, I think, amazing, that basically once you get a membership, or you can even do it before you get a membership, you go online and you complete a questionnaire. It's like you spend maybe
That's awesome.
5 minutes and you get approved, and you can pay for your membership or equipment with your HSA or FSA money. Yeah, I mean, if you buy
Especially-
prescriptions, why shouldn't you be
Yes.
able to buy your gym membership?
It's always blown my mind.
Yeah.
Even like I always thought that for flex spending, because some people have to spend that by the end of the year. I think
You
it
have
doesn't.
to with an FSA.
Yes.
HSA rolls over.
So that's brilliant. Like, it'd be great to like just, if you have any money at the end of the year, like just throw it at the gym.
Yeah.
Not that it should be a part of their every month thing anyway. But for people that don't realize that and have it, they should easily buy a membership. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
What's Kevin's involvement? What's that guy up to? Is
So-
he in the studio a lot? What's he doing?
So Kevin comes to classes. Kevin he's a mechanical engineer, and he's in sales. He works in the aerospace industry. Super
Nice.
proud of him. Really
Cool.
proud of him. So he travels a good bit for work but when he's home, he works out of our house. He has a home office, but he's up in the studio taking classes, and he has seen the benefit
Yeah.
of the workout. I mean, he's a believer. He's brought friends in there who, I mean, lift weights like you, Randy. I mean, who like to look at themselves in the mirror. at Rules Fitness. Look at those guns that come to class and they're like, holy crap, I did not think I could sweat that much and work out that much. So yeah, he's a true believer in it.
And did he ever have a time where you were starting out and he said, oh boy, this is a lot for her?
Yes.
Every day when you started crying for the first time.
Were there any tears? Because that was a big assumption.
Opening a business has to be.
There were definitely tears, and he was worried for me. I mean, I have anxiety. I think it's important people know that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so many people do. Yeah. And he knows how stressed that it can make me. And I've never owned a business, but I knew I always wanted to. And owning a business is a lot of work. I mean, I probably spent 14 hours a day at the studio the first several months.
Yeah.
And with 2 kids, he stayed home with our kids.
Yep.
And I have definitely had some tears because it's been so much, but I'm also grateful at the opportunity to have it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Now, but Pvolve Columbia, you run that social media, right? Or do you have somebody taking those photos? Because that's all local.
It is local. So I have 2 girls. So in addition to the trainers, I have 2 studio coordinators, and they really handle the social
Photos
media. Yes, they handle that. I would like to say that that's me, but it is all Kira and Lyndon. Got to give them major props for that. Yeah. And they schedule our content. They do it all. Yeah, I mean, it's very important to be engaged within the community. I mean, and that's one of the first things that people see for our studio is our social media. So we want to put out there, what we're doing.
Yeah, everybody looks at social media before they come.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And from the corporate side of it, which I'm always interested in,
yeah,
what do they tell you to put on or not put on social media? Or do they say anything about it? Because New York City would be a different social media vibe probably than what you would put in Columbia, but fairly similar still.
Right. I mean, I don't know if they tell us exactly what to put on there, but definitely, and I'm going to take this back to me. When I opened the studio, the culture of my studio, that is one of the top 3 important things that culture, making everybody welcome in that studio, having a friendly face, working with everybody where they are. So I think that comes through in the social media content that we have. We celebrate everybody's successes. We have a milestone Monday every day or every Monday. And I will say, I think all of the other studios have followed us in doing that because we have people take pictures after your 10th, 25th, 50th, and so many milestones that other studios have started to do that on Mondays. We also love to have trainer tips. One of our trainers, Kelly Hopman, she's been in the fitness industry forever and took a lot of persistence to get her to come on and train with me because she's got a full-time job, but it paid off. And she loves to do our trainer tips. So you'll see trainer tips. You'll see videos of us in action in class. We also have a monthly calendar that we put out where we'll have theme classes.
Saw that. That was cool.
Yeah, but Pvolve, we also partner with like-minded businesses. So we love to gift our members products from companies that we're invested in. So we will have member product gifting like once a month. We also want to bring in people within the community that could bring education to our members. So later this month, I'm having someone, and she would be great for your podcast as well. Her name is Megan Salerno. She owns
we had Megan on.
She
great. Was one of the early people we had.
Yeah.
Actually, her name was Megan Davidson back then.
Oh, before she got married. But she is going to come speak to our members about their pelvic floor, which we work with this Pvolve, your pelvic floor. So we're having education that we're doing for our members. So we're more than just somewhere to go work out. I mean, we want to provide you with the tools and education. And I've got a member who is going to come talk about nutrition.
Yeah.
I mean, we've just got a lot of things lined up.
Great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How many brick and mortar stores are there now, or studios in the country?
I believe there's maybe 19 of us open right now.
So for even South Carolina, period, to have Pvolve is remarkable.
It's huge. We were the first one in the South.
Yeah.
The only one in South Carolina. And for Columbia to get it over like
Charleston
or Greenville is pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was super proud of that.
That is awesome.
To bring it to Columbia.
And just on the franchise side of it, how often are you talking with them? Like, are there meetings? Are there corporate show-ups? Do they pop in? Like, what does that look like if somebody's even considering any franchise? How is it working with corporate?
Yeah, so corporate is very supportive. I have someone that I speak with at least once a month just about different things that are going on within the studio.
Yeah.
We have a corporate trainer that is assigned to us, and she comes down and she evaluates us as trainers, which I think is huge. You know, there's something called Pvolve Academy that us trainers have to go in, and I should kind of step back here. Becoming a Pvolve trainer is one of the hardest things you've ever done. It is 100 hours of immersive training. It begins with modules online where you really learn the method, but then you have to learn classes. You have to teach the classes. You have to have the correct format. You have to be able to speak on the mic in front of people. You have to keep your members engaged. You have to be able to help correct them if they don't have a correct form. So becoming a Pvolve trainer is a lot of work. Only the best of the best will score high enough to become a trainer, and that training is ongoing. There is always additional training materials within Pvolve Academy for us to look at to continue to grow. I mean, we're always growing through life no matter what you're doing.
Yeah. Do they do like yearly seminars where you guys all get together, or is there any of that yet?
Not for the owners. I mean, I would love that. But they do come to our studio just for check-ins. But like, we've got a core group of the first 9 of us that opened franchises that we like have a Slack channel where we love to talk, you know, and support one another and share ideas of some things that have worked and some things that haven't worked. I think it's important to have that space where you can connect with those that are going through the same thing that you are.
Sure.
Because it's a lot of work.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is there metrics that they help you to determine?
Yeah, I mean, so definitely we have a lot of KPIs that we look at and a certain number of members that we want to get at, but it's not all about the members. You know, we can bring in money with retail. We bring it in with personal training, but we definitely want those members, you know, and gyms, you know, see members come and they see members go. Maybe that member moved. Maybe they decided that they just don't have the time for a workout, and that's fine. You know, hopefully they'll come back later. But yeah, our member base keeps growing as I think the word of Pvolve gets out and about, and I think it's just going to continue to grow because of the type of workout that we are. And I will say, I think the fact that Jennifer Aniston came on board over a year ago has helped. I'm super proud to say I didn't come on board because of her. I was doing it and decided to open the franchise before she ever became part of it.
She came on board because of you.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I would tell people.
She saw my guns and my 6 and 8 pack.
That's a good T-shirt for you guys.
Yeah. But she's definitely helped bring the method to the spotlight. You know, she started streaming it at her home under a different name and reached out to corporate, and they're like, this is a joke. This is not Jennifer Aniston, but it really was.
Wild.
And she understands that the type of workout is what you need because it's the low impact, but it really works your body like no other. And we're science-led. You know, we're clinically backed. We've done the clinical studies that prove that this workout, it helps your stability. It increases your flexibility. It helps your mobility. It helps you build that muscle mass, that lean muscle mass. And we have the research to back that, which I think is pretty amazing that the company has invested that much money to really prove ourselves.
Do you guys do before pictures with people? Like when new members start, like just like, hey, let's get a photo of you. And then later on kind of snag a follow-up?
No, we've never really done that. If they want to do that, I encourage them to do that.
Might be weird to be like, here, stand here,
member.
semi-naked,
Yeah.
and get a photo. But it'd be great for your what was it? Motivational Mondays? No, Monday.
The motivational,
milestones.
the milestone Monday. Yeah. I mean, but I've had members come to me and they're like, I lost 50 pounds last year. And I'm like, that's amazing. We were part of that journey.
Right.
We weren't just the journey, but it's their dedication to eating right, their dedication to coming to the studio, their dedication to putting in the work when they're at the studio that help them achieve that goal. We're part of that, and we're going to celebrate it with them.
Do you have any promotions for new people? Like, is there first class free? Is there what kind of things do you do to encourage people to try you out?
Yeah, we do. So people can come in on our intro offer. Is 3 classes for $36. It's a great way. We ask that you take the classes in 7 days. It's a great way to come in and do the method. We say, give us 3 classes because the movement is so different. People are like, why am I internally rotating my hips? And I'm like, because it's really going to open up your hips and really allow for that better glute activation. So we have that promotion. And right now, through the end of January, if you sign up for a membership, you get 25% off your first 2 months of membership. But we always kind of have something going on. A lot of people do that intro offer because they're interested in us and want to know about us.
Yeah, we got to get more men doing this. We got to
do.
target some men.
Yes.
Is it unlimited classes?
So we have different tiers of membership. So if you know that you want to work out 4+ times a week, you want to get that unlimited membership. We have some for 8 or 12 classes a month. We have some for 8 classes or for 4 classes. We also have class packages where you could just buy like 10 classes to use over 90 days. But it really just depends on the frequency of how often you want to work out.
Yep. Nice. How's parking?
Parking is fantastic.
Great.
So we have parking in front of our studio, but we also are able to park on the 1st and 2nd floor of the Bennett apartment building parking garage. My members can park for free for 2 hours, so parking is never a problem. And that was one of the main things when I decided to go in the Bull Street district. My members have to have parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the bathroom facilities? How
They're
are
fantastic.
they? Showers?
We don't have showers. We have 2 large restrooms, big enough where you can change before or after work, or you can even come in at lunchtime. We have amenities in the bathroom. We have wipes.
Mints?
So you can,
any mints for your breath?
we do have mints. We have
Beautiful.
a beauty bar.
Ooh.
Fantastic. Full
Like
of lotions and potions to use before and after class. So after class, you can use our spray deodorant. You can use our facial mist, all by Public Goods, or you can use our dry shampoo, hairspray. We have some Lolavie products, which is Jennifer Aniston's hair care brand. So we want you to look good after you work out. If you're going on a date or going back to work.
We'll spruce up.
Yeah. And we have mints at our beauty bar. We have hair bands because you're going to get hot and sweaty. You got to pull that hair up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do guys wear hats in there? Like, does anybody really wear hats? That'd be
Not
okay.
Really? I mean, it'd be totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any headbands, wristbands?
I've seen some headbands.
No
Maybe you
wristbands?
should come and wear some wristbands for your sweat because you're going to get really
Just to
sweaty.
wipe the
Richard
forehead.
Simmons
I
style.
love a good wristband.
But we provide towels, so you don't have to do that.
Oh,
We
right at your
provide
station.
Towels. You can grab a towel at our towel bar, and then you put it in the little towel drop after, and we launder it. And another thing we do
Beautiful.
is we sanitize all the equipment after each class.
Got
So
it. Yeah, the pelvic floor. You got to make sure that's.
you got to spray it off. We
Yep.
spray everything down so
Yep.
everything is clean between each class. So that's why we use our baskets. So we have the baskets prepared for you. You grab them off the back wall. You go to your mat. And then we also have cushion mats that we use when we're on the floor for mat work. They're about 1 inch thick. So we just provide sanitizing wipes after the cool down. People sanitize those cushion mats. They'll leave them there, but everything else they put back in their basket, and then we sanitize it because the health and cleanliness of our members is of utmost importance to us.
Yep. Great.
Yeah.
Then my last question was about, so you've been in the space 8 months. Have you found any pettiness with any other gyms in the boutique gym space? We've met a lot of people.
That was my next question too.
I have not. And
No,
I think it's because we're so different
Yeah.
than everything else that's around here. We are not Pilates. We are not HIIT. We are not bar. We are Pvolve. We are different than every other modality out there. You know, it really sets us apart. And I mean, I'm not in competition with anybody. I want everybody to succeed in what they do.
Yeah.
There's a modality out there for everybody. I encourage you to try it all, but you're going to come back to Pvolve.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of my philosophies is you should just try out a whole bunch of different types of workouts and find
Yeah.
one that works for you.
Yeah.
And then if you
Exactly.
find that something isn't working, you should go try new things and find out what's different.
Just
Yeah.
to stay consistent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What do you see happening in the next year or two?
You know, my goal is to have another Pvolve location.
In the Northeast Columbia?
That would be great.
I'm not sure. My husband and I are trying to decide where that location is going to be. And, you know, before we opened the location where we are, there's something called the Buxton Mapping Program. And it really looks at the demographics, how many women and men
Yeah.
are within so many miles of where you are, the income level, you know, what these people like to do is kind of scary. Everything that this
All the
system
data out
knows,
there, yeah.
all the data. I mean, I don't even know where they get it all from, but it showed us that Columbia was the place to start. And I'm glad
That's
we
cool.
started where we were.
Yeah.
But I would love to have another studio, but I want this studio up and running to a T before we even kind of consider that, because I know how much work it is. And, you know, I have the boys at home. I want to be able to spend time with them
Yeah.
as well, because I know that a lot of my time has not been with them the last so many months. But
Yeah.
I'm getting to a place where my staff is amazing, so I can take a couple days off on Saturday and Sunday and spend it with them at home.
Yeah.
8 months is still brand new too.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And you're doing the right thing. I mean, when you said 14 hours was a day, I was like, yep, I remember those days.
Oh,
That
for
was
so long.
Oh my God.
But you have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're exhausted. And when you get home, you're like, I want to take a shower, I want to eat, and I want to go to bed.
Yep.
And then you just get up and do it again. It's just a grind.
Yep. And then what's the best way for people to find you? Online, social media, kind of
Yeah, all of the above.
websites.
So we're on Instagram. Our handle is Pvolve Columbia. We're on Facebook at Pvolve Studio Columbia, I think is what it is. But you can also just go to the pvolve.com website and you can hit Find Studio, and then you can find our studio. You can look at the different class times that we have there. Like I said, we're open 7 days a week. You can look at the different membership options, that great intro offer. But we advertise on Meta, which
Yeah.
is Facebook and Instagram. So we have those ads there. So we get a lot of leads from there, and we reach out to people from those leads.
Great.
And we get them in the studio.
It's awesome. So they should go to your Instagram, Facebook pages,
Follow
those,
you.
right?
Yeah,
Follow
see
you.
what all we're doing.
Yep.
And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I want to go there. It looks so fun. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, it's been great. Thanks for being here. Thanks
Yeah.
for telling us all about this.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's like an honor that y'all reached out to me to do this. I love it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here
We're here for the health of it.
for the health of it.